going to talk about is, Ash asked me to talk about my original why for building Rastaclat. And truly to understand that, I kind of have to take you down memory lane to my high school years, or even almost to when I was born, right? So this is something that's been built in me unknowingly since I was a young child. I was born in Kenya. Many of you guys don't know where that is. It's in Africa, right in the middle of the equator. And I came to America when I was 5. So how many people here are like fresh off the boat, first generation? There you go. We got one guy. Awesome. When I came to this country, I moved right in Orange County, Yorba Linda, if you guys know where that is, and I had a lot of friends that played in the NJB and football and all these great sports. And my parents, they were educated, but when they came here, they had to go to school again. They had to get like 2 bachelor degrees now, right? So I wasn't able to go to NJB and football and all these things that I wanted to do because my parents were busy trying to create a life for us. So at a young age, around high school, I picked up skateboarding. And the great thing about skateboarding was you didn't need anything. You could be a flat broke kid and you can get a skate deck with your friends. You can get a couple wheels from your other friends, trucks, or anything like that. You can put it together. And when I picked up a skateboard, I felt a lot of confidence. So I really made skateboarding my mission, something that I wanted to turn professional at. So every day after school, and sometimes ditching school, which happened quite often, but I graduated, so it's okay. Don't hike up my race, Every day after school, I really focused on my craft and my art. And skateboarding really taught me how to have determination, falling, getting back up, a lot of those kind of things that we learn about. But I got pretty good at skateboarding, I'm pretty tall, so when I fall, it's like a tree just falling down. I made it through a couple of years of skateboarding. I got pretty good, and the shoe company noticed me by the name of Action Footwear. I was 17 years old, and I was so excited. I started to feel a little bit of self-worth in myself. When you're 17, you're a teenager, you don't know who you are, you don't know what group you belong to, and so little things like this started giving me a little bit of confidence. And I continued to skateboard, and I became popular in high school, which was always fun. I started getting a couple of girls started looking at me, and I was like, okay, this is great, doing it. And the way Rastaclat was really born was one day I was waiting for a friend to pick me up to go skateboarding, and I'd get 5 pairs of shoes a month, and the shoes used to come with these extra laces, and I would toss them to the side of my bedroom. And I set up my skateboard, I put my shoes on, and my friends take it forever to get there. Sort of like that LA traffic, right? It's like you're waiting forever, right? And I decided just out of my own creativity and ingenuity to make a bracelet out of my extra shoelace, okay? And I'd always grown up with a love of fashion and design and things of that nature. And so I made my first shoelace, I put it on. I didn't think much of it. I went skateboarding, had a great time. The next day I go to school, in high school, and 10 of my buddies are like, Daniel, that's a really dope bracelet. Can you make me one? And the entrepreneurship light went off, right? I'm like, I don't have a job, I'm broke, I don't have any nice clothes. You got $5, right? And sure enough, they said yes. I had 10 friends come up to me, unsolicited, and want this bracelet. And so I was like, damn, this is really cool. I just made 50 fucking bucks, Like, this is the most money I ever made in one day. 50 bucks in one day, and I was feeling really good about myself. So I went home, and I sweatshopped that night, and I made those 10 bracelets. And I go to school the next day, and I give it to my 10 friends, and a couple things happened that I never ever expected to happen. And so the first thing was, I made 50 fucking bucks, okay? Which was great, right? The second thing was, 20 more people asked me for these bracelets. The third thing was, every person I gave that bracelet to came back to me with a story of positivity of some sort. Whether it was they were noticed by someone, a girl that they liked because of the bracelet, or they were inspired by what I was doing, or inspired to design and be more creative. And that's a thing that I didn't expect to ever happen, And I tell a lot of people, and Eileen will tell you, at that point, it became, when people started telling me these stories, it became more of an emotional transaction than a monetary transaction. And that's really where the movement was born. It was really in that moment, that first day of me trying to make a business, you know? And that's our mission statement, spreading positive vibrations one wrist at a time. The goal was to multiply that feeling over and over and over in every single person the brand touched. And really that's where it was born. And that's our mission to this day, you know? And I was 17 then, I'm 34 now, so I'm doubled in age. All right. But that's really where it started, and it was an organic thing. So, and I didn't even understand it at that point. You know, like at that age, I was hustling. I just wanted to make some money. I was trying to pay rent. I was trying to get the next fly of shoes, this and that. It didn't even register to me. You know, it didn't even register to me what I had naturally created, right? And so fast forward, I go to school. I kind of put the idea in my back pocket because I didn't have money to scale it. I didn't have the resources. I didn't have business people around me. So I go to school. I went to FITM. I studied design. And I worked at Levi's doing design there. I did sales jobs, all these jobs in the apparel industry. And 6 years ago, you know, I get a tax return check unexpectedly again, $4,000. Cha-ching, right? There we go. We went from 50 to 4,000. And I said, I remember that idea that I had in high school. It's been in the back of my mind the last 10 years. And I knew it was a great idea. If I don't try it, I'm gonna live with regret. Okay, so I said, I'm working at Levi's, I'm designing, work for a great company. I decided to put all my money into Rastaclat. So I restart this concept, okay? And it was nerve-wracking, right? Because you didn't know whether it would become a success again or it would flop, you know? So it was nerve-wracking in that sense. But as I started, it started to pick up the same way and multiply. And Eileen, who you know here, I had met her in one of those odd jobs I was working throughout my path. And I've seen her run companies at the age of 25 from an operational standpoint. And about a year and a half in, 2 years in, I call her and I'm like, Eileen, I think I have something that we should talk about. I'm very creative, love the design side of it, sales, driven in different ways, and Eileen has a wealth of knowledge in a different world than I've ever known. And the reason why I tell you this is because she's the person that sat me in, she would have meetings, she'd sit me in a room and extract all this stuff, right? Like, why did you start this? What does it mean to you? Like, all this like emotional stuff, you know? I'm like, dang, what are we doing here? How are we trying to build business? How are we doing a therapy session, right? But I didn't really realize what she was trying to get out of me, right? But when we put it all on paper, we realized what the company's why was, right? Like, why are we doing this? Like, yes, we're running a business, there's a profit that has to be made, but the reason we're doing it is to spread positive vibrations, okay? And that's, from that point onwards, when we kind of aligned all that, we decided to go gung-ho with that and really, really focus on it. And so how do we do this as a brand? You know, we really have a global impact. Our brand is, I don't even call it a brand, our movement is live in over 45 countries, you know, and this is the craziest story for me. When I go to China, a place where it's a communist country, you don't think the US, you can't even go on Facebook, Pandora, there's no Instagram, none of our marketing crosses over. And I'll go to an event, I'll ask a kid, hey, why do you wear Rastaclat? And he'll tell me, he told me, I love it because every day it reminds me to stay positive. And that almost brought tears to my eyes, because I'm like, whoa, I am literally thousands of miles away from where we work and where we do this. And this movement and this message is spanning cultural boundaries, races, socioeconomic statuses, and genders. And you start to realize how powerful your why can be if you really nurture it and do it the right way. You know, and he said the most important thing is being authentic to it. You know, and that's the number one. You have to be authentic to why you're doing something, because people can sense anything that's unauthentic, especially in social media now. The millennials, they can sense that. You know, so that's really, really important. You know, we have a lot of great things at Rastaclat. We have an amazing team. I think another part of building a movement is have the right team. Everyone that works for you and is in your organization, or wherever that you're at, has to believe what you believe. You know, and if you have people that don't believe what you believe, you cannot continue to grow your movement, you know? And because for Rastaclat, everyone out there that wears Rastaclat believes in spreading positive vibrations, and everyone that works within Rastaclat believes in spreading positive vibrations. So that's really, really important, you know, and nurturing that is really important as well. You know, we also do cool things. We have fun things, like who's a fan of the NBA? Raise your hand. There you go. Dubs. We just signed Klay Thompson, so we might have to work something out, right? How does everyone here know Hello Kitty? Yeah. Ladies? Gentlemen, all right. So we try to do really fun things with our brand. Like that's kind of like how the movement started. We do a lot of fun things. So for instance, you know, we're doing something with Hello Kitty. And so we try to extract stories of positivity out of brand collabs and things of that nature, right? So, for instance, Hello Kitty, she was made without a mouth, if you've seen it, right? If you've seen the illustration of Hello Kitty. Reason being, the founders who created Hello Kitty, they wanted her to speak from the heart, you know? And there's a positive story within that. It might be just a small piece of the story. For us at Rastaclat, our ability to reach more people by these brand collaborations and telling another brand story within the light of spreading positive vibrations has really helped us scale and grow, you know? And that's one of the ways, you know, we're working with Klay Thompson, and he has a new charity that he's starting in the Bahamas, and that's gonna be our story. We're not gonna talk about Klay Thompson drilling threes, you know? Even though that's great, but that's who we are. We're staying true and authentic to our mantra and our ethos. You know, and you talk about charitable aspects. You know, we're gearing up for breast cancer awareness. How many people here have had someone affected by breast cancer in their family? You know, we have too. We have friends, you know, that we have and family members that have been affected. We stay really, really active with breast cancer awareness and trying to get funding for research, all of those things, and telling positive stories. So as a whole, we tell a lot of stories, positive stories, to gather more people that might not already be within the clout life, as we call it. And then I'll kind of go on to the last part. You said lessons that you can share with a brand, how the brand is now a movement. My first thing was be authentic. Make sure that your brand aligns with what you believe in. Make sure the people that you bring into your organization believe what you believe. Utilize technology. You know, right now you get free marketing. I know it's not free, but pretty close to free on social media. You know, we have kids that pretty much do our photo shoots for us. You know, because they love the brand, they love being part of this community. And we bring them in, and we give them prizes. And it's like, when we talk about join the pride, and the reason we're called the pride is our logo is a lion, and lions roll with prides. And the interesting fact of lions is that when they have little lions, S's, I don't know what to call them, right? Little baby lions, they never abandon them. If you see a mink, if you see a panther, if you see a leopard, they're always rolling around by themselves. But lions bring people into the pride, and that's kind of metaphorically what we do at Rastaclat. But these kids that we call our clout lifers are out there preaching our message, taking photo shoots, sending us artwork, and it's just cultivating the movement. And the most important thing that I can say is that at one point, if you really nurture a movement, it becomes much bigger than yourself. At this point, it's not even about me anymore. You know, my job and Eileen's job is to really nurture everything, like make sure the platforms that we're in and everything that we're doing continues this movement. And that's really the rewarding part of it, is when it's outside of your control almost. And you know, that's awesome. But then the last thing is just human interaction. You know, we have a great team, a customer service team, and you know, a lot of companies, they'll kind of try to stiff you if you don't get your package. It's just like, do the right thing, practice righteousness. You know, we'll throw in an extra bracelet. That little token keeps people so engaged with your brand, lifers. You know, the average person buys between 8 to 10 Rastaclats. You know how much you have to love something to buy 8 or 10 of them? Like think about your closet. What do you own 8 or 10 of? I know you probably have 8 or 10 Porsches. So last year we put out almost over 1 million bracelets into the market. So that's incredible. Last year, and this year we look to do quite a bit more than that. The holiday season's coming, which is always a big part of that. So, but I appreciate you guys listening to how we built a movement and some of the things that it takes to do it. Definitely not easy, but it's also humbling, and it's the great thing about Rastaclat, and I love about Rastaclat and everyone in it is it keeps you accountable. Like I can't go into work all pissed off and angry, Like it actually helps my life. I'm part of that movement, and it's bigger than me. I can't even if I wanted to abandon it, I couldn't. It's everywhere, So, that's our story. All right. Thank you.